Right, good morning, everyone. So let's continue the discussion. So we were discussing about the GitHub, and as we know, GitHub is the source code management tool, as we understood. And in the previous session, like we have created organizations, we understood how to create organizations. We see here we have gone to the profile here, and here we have some options here to create organizations. If we go to this your organizations, here we can see the list of organizations that we have created so far. So these are the two organizations that we have created so far. Anyhow, we know how to create an organization. If we wanted to create a new organization, we'll go for this new organization and then we will provide the name of the organization. So before we proceed, we need to select the plan for our organization. So at organization level, we need to pick up a plan. So usually now we are going with a free organization. Actually, if we have a team and if we are going to really implement it, we need to choose something like this. Like we need to choose we need to go for most of the companies, they'll go for enterprise edition. And you can see here $4 per month per user. Okay, if we use this particular one, there is $4. We need to pay $4 per user per month. And if we go for enterprise edition, we need to pay to $21 per user per month. So like this, we need to have anyhow for now we are creating a free organization. That's the reason why we will go for free one. Okay, free organization. That's how we are creating an organization. Anyhow, we understood like how to create organization and all. I'm not going to proceed with any of providing the name and all. I'm coming back. We will discuss now how to create repositories. Okay. Anyhow, that also I think we have seen. So here I'm going to the organizations. I have two organizations here. And I told like how to create repositories under the organization. Say, suppose if I open ICICI Net Banking organization, under this ICICI Net Banking organization, you can see the repositories here. There are some repositories like credit cards, fixed deposit, savings account. These are the repositories that we have. But anyhow, these repositories are the empty repositories that we have created. We will also understand how to add the source code to these repositories. Okay. So now if I open any of the repositories, okay, I'm just trying to open any of the repositories like ICICI credit cards and all. You can see here, if I open any of the repositories, the most important thing that we need to understand is branch here. So what is a repository? Repository is mainly for storing and managing our source code. So what is the advantage of GitHub? The main advantage of GitHub is if some multiple developers are working on coding part, okay? If multiple developers are working or if multiple developers needs to work, it provides a good platform for multiple developers to manage their source code. Okay, let's see the concept of branches. Here we are inside the repository now. Okay, we are going to the organization. Under organization, we can see we have three repositories. Under the repositories, we can see all the list of repositories and all. If we want to create a new repository, we can go here. We can go here and we can select a new repository and we can provide the name of the repository, everything, all those things like that we have seen in the previous session. Now, if I want to add some source code, okay, let me open this particular repository. How to add some source code? If I want to add some piece of code to this repository, how to add? So I have few options here. Okay, I am inside the repository called ICICI credit cards, and we can see whenever the repository is created, by default, a branch will be created called main branch. We all know that by default, a branch will be created called main branch. Okay, can you see here? There is a branch called main branch. And we are inside the main branch now. We have selected main branch now. We don't have any other branches except main. For now, we don't have any other branches. We are in the main branch. We are in ICICI credit cards repository. Under ICICI credit cards repository, we can maintain multiple branches. I will show you how to create branches and all. But for now, we have only one branch, which is called main. And that is the default branch. See, and this is not the branch created by us. This is the branch created at the time of repository creation. Okay, when you create a repository at that time itself, by the time itself, one default branch will get created. And this is the default branch with the name called main. Now let's see how to add some files to this branch. we are adding a file to this branch. So if I'm adding some files to this repository, we need to see to which branch. Okay. Under repository, we will be having branches. And we are in a branch called main. So now if I add a file, you see, I'm creating a new file. I'm going to add file. I'm going to show you once again. Here we have an option called add file. Click on add file. We can create a new file. And I'm just giving some name like, I'm just giving like, I'm saving one file with a name called creditcard.java. So here the developer can write the code. Developer can write the code and he will commit the code. Okay. Developer can write code here in this particular file. And once he is done with the coding part, he can commit the changes. Can you see here? We have an option here to commit the changes. We can see one green color option, cancel changes. And in the green color, we can able to see commit changes. We can just click on commit changes. That's it. So I am creating a new file and I'm adding some content here and I'm committing the changes. That's it. It is asking whether you want to commit directly to the main branch. It is asking whether you want to commit directly to the main branch. Yes. You can see, usually it is asking whether you want to commit directly to the main branch. Yes, we can. If you want, you can commit. Otherwise, you need to create a new branch. You need to create a new branch and you can raise a pull request. So if you are not aware like what is pull request and all, we will discuss. For now, I am committing the changes. I am committing the changes directly to the main branch. Okay. For now, I am just trying to commit the changes to directly to the main branch. So, earlier in the main branch, you see, I am inside the ICICI cards repository. Inside this repository, I have only one branch, which is called main branch. Inside the main branch, our source code is being stored. Okay. So already the readme.md file was already there. It was committed. This file was committed yesterday. I committed this file yesterday, not today. Readme.md file. During the repository creation itself, we are adding this file, readme.md file. The purpose of this file is like to have a long description about your repository. Okay, if a newcomer comes and if he wants to understand what is the purpose of this repository, then he can easily understand just by going through the readme.md file. Okay, he can see the long description and he can understand what is the main advantage of this, what are the contents that this repository is having. He will understand. That's how we'll maintain the readmd file. And similarly, you see here, we have a file called creditcard.java. This is the file just now we have added. Okay. This is the file I have added. Creditcard.java is the file I have added recently. This is the file I have added. Okay. So now we can see here, we have a credit card repository. Under credit card repository, I had only one branch. Inside the branch, I have two files. Credit card chart. And this is the file just now I have added. Suppose if I want to add one more file, how can we add? We can go here, add file. Either we can create a file here or otherwise we can upload the files from your local machine. We can upload the files from the local machine also. Just click on upload the file and choose your files. We can also see here, right? We can go for, I'm just adding a file. Okay. I'm just adding this particular file. I'm coming down. I'm going to commit directly to the main branch. Yes. I'll be committing directly to the main branch. I'm just adding a file and committing the changes. You see here, I just added the file called shell scripting, this one. Okay. This .txt file, part2.txt file. This is the file that I have added recently. Pawan? Pawan, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Pawan, like what we were discussing is like we are understanding like inside the repository. Yesterday, we understood how to create an organization and how to create repositories in GitHub, right?
yes,
So here, if we go here, we have an organization. So we can see the list of organizations. We have two organizations created yesterday.
correct.
One is ICICI Net Banking and Life Insurance Corporation. These two organizations we created yesterday, right?
Yes,
So now I'm going inside the ICICI Net Banking and we also see how to create repositories. If we see here under this particular organization, I have three repositories. Now we are talking about how can we create branches inside the organization, how to add source code, first of all.
okay.
After going inside the repository, I'm going inside the repository of ICICI credit cards. Inside this repository, we can see how many branches we have, Pawan.
Main branch or master branch?
The main branch, okay, main or master. So this is the branch, Pawan, this is not created by me.
Yeah,
Okay.
default.
Yeah, but this is a default branch. Whenever we create the repository, this is the default branch that gets added to the repository.
Yeah.
And you know, when we create the repository, this readme.md file, we have an option there to add readme.md file while
Yes.
creating the repo. Okay.
Yes.
And
Okay.
you know, you understood the purpose of this readme.md file.
You
It
can.
provides, we are going to provide the long description about the project
Yes.
so that others will understand what is the main use of this repository, what does this repository contain. Okay.
Okay.
So now I just added, recently I have added two files. One is creditcard.java and the other file that I have added is something. I'm just trying to add some files. I
Okay.
just wanted to show you how to add files directly from here. We have an option here. We can add files here. Either you can create a new file
Okay.
or upload the files from your local machine.
Yes.
Okay. So now I have only one branch. Okay. This is how I can see the branches. I can just click on branches and I can see how many branches that are available for me. So usually what is the main advantage of GitHub is we can create multiple branches. Let me tell you the scenario, how actually we'll be doing, how actually the developers will create the branches and all. How actually the developers create multiple branches and all. Let me tell you. So I am just going to open this one. You see here. Okay. So first of all, how actually the branches will be created. Pawan, do you know what is a feature branch? What is a feature branch? Let's discuss about the feature branch. Okay.
Okay.
Feature branch. What is this feature branch and all? So usually developers will create the feature branches. Developers will create the feature branches. Let's discuss about the branching strategy for some time. So we have different branching strategies. Okay, we have different branching strategies. Let's discuss about one branching strategy that regularly used by the that will be regularly using in the projects. Okay, so usually consider we have a developer. Okay, developer will be assigned with some task. Developer is assigned with some task. Consider he is asked to write a program for managing the credit cards. His task is okay to write the code for managing the code to write the code for managing the credit cards. So now let's see the task also I'm just mentioning here. Task is to write a code for managing the source, managing the credit cards. Okay, credit cards information. I'm just taking an example. Okay, the task that is provided to the developer is to write a code for managing the credit cards information. Okay, so what developer will do now? So the developer actually what he will do is he will go to that particular repository. He will go to that particular repository and he will see what are the branchings, what are the branches that are available over there. What is the branch available here?
Main branch.
He will get the information like what is the main branch that is maintaining here? What is the main branch? Which branch is having the final copy of code? He will try to understand first which branch is having final copy of code. Final copy means after updating all the code changes. Latest branch. Latest code changes are committed into consider the latest code changes, everything will be committed into the main branch. So we are maintaining final copy of code into the main branch. So what developer will do is he will create a new branch now. Usually how he will create a new branch, he will be assigned with some task. He is assigned with some task to write a code for managing the credit cards information. So now immediately he is going to create a feature branch. He is going to create a feature branch to work on his feature. Feature branch is nothing but he is going to work on the task that is assigned to him. So for that purpose, he is going to create one branch. Those branches are called as feature branches. Okay, Pawan, let me tell you one more thing. Consider we have another developer. Okay, we have another developer. Developer one is assigned with some task to write a code for managing credit cards. Consider developer two is also assigned with some task. What is the task? He needs to write a code. He is working on the task for accounts information. Okay, just taking an example. Okay, accounts information. So developer 1 will work individually. Developer 2 will also work individually. So when they started working, so before they start working, they will create an individual branches. Developer 1 will go here and create an individual branch. How? He will click on new branch. He will give some name, like whatever the name that he wanted to give, feature slash credit cards. Okay, he will just update the branch with, he will create a new branch with like this feature slash credit cards. And Pawan, try to understand here, whenever he creates a new branch, he cannot create an empty branch. If he wants to create a new branch, definitely he has to mention what is the source branch that he is going to take. He should have some base branch, otherwise he cannot create.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
See, he is going to create a new branch called feature slash credit card. So to work on this particular task. But whenever he create a branch, definitely he should have some base branch. What is the base branch here? How many branches are available?
Only
We don't
one.
have any other branches except main.
Main.
We don't have any other branches except main. So he is going to select the main branch. And obviously, he will select that particular branch only. Main branch is the base branch. So what is this base branch and all? What is the concept of this base branch? Why, whenever we are creating a new branch, why it is asking for the source branch? I'm getting my point? He is going to create a new branch called feature slash credit cards. Definitely, it is asking for the source branch. He's creating a new branch. You see, he's creating a new branch. That's it. A new branch will be created. You can go to all branches. You can see all branches. Earlier, we had only one branch called main. Okay. Earlier, we had only one branch called main, and the main branch is updated 8 minutes ago. We have added few files to the main branch, right? Pawan, we have added few files to the main branch. That's why it is showing like 8 minutes ago it was updated. Now I have created a new branch called feature slash credit cards. And for this particular branch, if I open this particular branch, Pawan, I am also able to see the same files present in the main branch. Why it is? I can also able to see the same files that is present in the main branch. What is the content I got into the features as credit card branch? This is the branch I have created. And in this branch also, I'm able to see the same files which are present in the main branch. Okay. Let me show you. In the main branch, I have these three files. Credit card, readme.file, shell scripting 2.txt. Okay, these are the three files that I have in the main branch. How to know whether we are in the main branch or in some other branch? We can able to see here, right?
Yes.
And select the drop down. Go to the feature slash credit cards. We're also having the same files.
Yeah.
Why? Because while creating a branch, we are selecting the source branches. We are selecting the source branches, main branch. That's the reason why
the files which are
present in the main branch.
Yeah.
Whatever the files present in the main branch, all the files copied to the feature branch that is created by the developer. Got it?
Yes.
And now let me show you one more example. I'm going to add one more file here. Under this feature slash credit cards, okay, developer is going to add one more file. And he's naming the file like, he's going to create a file like some file I'm adding, okay?
Like he need to write credit card.
Sorry?
Like he need to write that credit card features, right, in that feature branch. So he can do that credit card thing only in the feature branch.
Yes. So why he's created a branch called feature? So it is not mandatory that he's going to create the feature branch with credit card name and all.
Yeah.
Usually, Pawan, what happens is, suppose if he's assigned with some task, usually he will be assigned the task in some tracking tool like Jira. Do you know what is Jira and all?
Yes, yes, ticketing.
Okay, it is a ticketing tool. So by using that tool, we will be people will create tasks over there, right?
Yeah.
Usually we can create the tasks over there and we can assign the task to our team members and all. So using Jira, they can assign some tasks. Consider in Jira, we'll be having some code, right? Jira title will be there.
Yeah.
So usually let's assume that we have a title like BMEP, something like that. Okay, based on the project name, the title will be. Suppose if the project name is starting with BM something and all. So they'll start with like, okay, the task will also start with BMEP something. Based on the team also, the title will changes, okay? Consider the task is like BMEP, some number will be there, BMEP 10895, something like that, okay? This is the title. This is the code. This is the code for the ticket that is assigned for the developer, okay? Under this code, under this particular ticket, is asking to write a code for managing the credit cards information. This is how the tickets are assigned for the developers. What developer can do now, usually the scenario is developer will go ahead and create a new branch. Developer will create a new branch. Okay, let me show you. Developer will create a new branch with the same name. He is going to create a new branch with the name like with the name of Jira title that is provided. Got it? So if some ticket is assigned in Jira, there will be some code for the task. This is the code of the task. Pawan, are you understanding or any doubts you have?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, you understood, right? So
Yes, yes.
if the task is assigned in Jira, he will be assigned with some number. So he can also create a branch. He will create a branch with the same name also, with the same ticket number also. With the ticket number, he is going to create a branch. So during that time also, it will ask what is the source branch you would like to consider. So he will say, he will refer, usually he will keep the source branch as a main branch or master, whatever it is, whichever is the updated branch.
Okay.
He will create a new branch. That's how the branches will be created by the developers. And he will be working, whatever the code changes he is going to do, all the code changes will be added into this particular branch. All the code changes. As I told you, if he's going to write some other files, if he's going to add some file, some another piece of code. So consider he's working on credit card use dot Java, something like that. Okay, I'm just showing some example. He's working on writing a code like credit card use dot Java. So here he will write the code. Okay, he will write the code like some code he will add. Okay, just I'm adding one line here. Credit card use like that. He will commit the changes. Once after writing the code here in this area, he will just commit the changes. He'll directly commit the changes to which branch? Can you see here? We are in the branch called BMEP 18795. So that he is going to commit directly the changes into this particular branch only. Can you see? Pawan, earlier we had 3 files. Now the developer has added one more file. What is the file name? What is the file name? Credit card use.
Java.
Java. He has added one more file.
Yeah.
Now, after making his changes, he wants to match the changes. He is done with the development. He is done with the task that is assigned to him. This is the task that is assigned to him in the Jira, PMEP 18795. Under this task, he is asked to write some code for managing the credit cards or credit card use, something like that. He has created a new branch like this, and he has added his code changes. He has done with the task. Now, how can he merge his changes to the main branch? Consider our main branch. Main is the updated branch, right? Where we are maintaining the all developers code and all the developers will be updating the code with the main branch only. Why? Because main is the final copy of code we are maintaining. Consider. Any questions? No,
Like,
whatever the branch that is created by the developer, in that particular branch only, he has made the changes. He has added his code changes. Okay. Then now he has to match the changes. He has to add the same changes to the master branch also, main branch also. Why? Because nobody worries about the feature branches. If some developer comes and create a feature branch here, nobody worries about the feature branches.
okay.
It is mainly for the sake of developer only. It is providing an environment for each and every developer to add their changes separately, not to disturb the main branch every time.
Right.
It is providing an environment. Git is providing an environment for each and every developer to create their individual branches and to add their code changes to their individual branches. Once everything is fine, if they feel that if testing is passed, if they feel that their changes are working fine, then only their changes will be updated to the main branch. how they are going to, okay, consider if the testing is passed, okay. They will test locally. First of all, they will check locally. If they are working locally, if everything is fine, if they feel that everything is working fine, and they will also ask the testing team to test it. Okay, they will also ask the testing team to test it. If they got the positive response from the testing team also, he will raise the PR. He will raise a PR. How to match these changes into the main branch? He need to raise a PR. What is PR? One PR is nothing but a pull request. If I want to add, if developer wants to add his changes to the main branch, he needs to raise a PR. PR stands for what?
Pull request.
Pull request. How he can raise a pull request? You can see here on top under the organizational repository, we have some things, right? Code, issues, and pull requests. Let's go to the pull requests. Go to the pull requests, and anyhow, it is suggesting you have made some changes to this particular branch recently. If you want to raise a pull request, you can compare and pull request. We can simply click on either new pull request, or otherwise we can also go for compare and pull request. Anything is fine. If you want to start with new pull request, click on new pull request. Once you click on new pull request, it will show like this. This is how the window opens. And here, whatever the branch you have created, your created branch, your branch is BMEP 18795, and you want to match your changes to main branch. You have made your changes in this branch, and we are going to match our changes to a branch called main. You can also see what are the file changes that you have made. You can also see whatever the file changes, it is clearly showing. We just added one more file called, credit card use.java. And this is the information related to, this is the code related to credit cards. Okay. And he needs to simply click on create a pull request. While creating the pull request, he need to add some reviewers. While creating the pull request, he need to add some reviewers. Where is the reviewers option? Here on the right hand side, we have a settings option, right? He can add some reviewer. For now, we have not added any members to this organization. That's the reason why it is not showing any of the members list. If we add some members, it will show all the members. It will show all the list of members in here. We can add any of the member as a reviewer. So people whom you are adding as a reviewer, they are going to review the pull request. If they also feel that everything is fine, they will match the pull request. So reviewing the pull request and matching the pull request, those privileges will be having only with the few members in the team. Okay. So anyone see, we are raising a pull request. Okay, we will be adding the reviewer. We know that the team will, anyhow in the team, we understand that who can review the PR and who can match the PRs and all. So we will add his or her name to the reviewers list, so that the PR notification will goes to them. They will open the PR and they will match the PR. So let me create a pull request for now. Pawan, any questions you have, we will discuss.
No.
Yes, we are going to create, he is going to create a pull request. Let's see here. He's going to create a pull request. Can you see here? We have not added any reviewer. Usually we have to add the reviewer name here. Okay, just click on settings button. It will show some list of users. We can select any particular user so that the reviewer will be added. Now this PR is raised. PR is raised. You can click on PRs. Okay, you can see here how many PRs are there. Only one PR is there. One PR opened by some name it is showing, right? If the developer opens a PR, it will show his name opened by the person name who has opened the PR and all. Now this PR is opened. The same PR will be notified with the reviewer who wants to match this. He will also open the PR. Okay, he will also open the PR. He will go for changes. He'll go for the files changed. Okay, he will see the files, whatever the files that we have added and all. Here we have option called review changes, right? He will go to the review changes. He will approve. Here the approve button is not enabled. Why? Because I have raised the pull request and I am not having privileges to match the pull request. That is what it is saying. Pull request authors cannot approve their own pull requests. If I raise the pull request, I cannot match the pull request. Pawan, If you raise the pull request, I can match the pull request.
Yeah.
If we are in the same team, okay. So if I raise the pull request, I
On.
cannot approve my own pull requests. Okay, that's the reason why the approve button is not enabled.
Yeah.
Otherwise, approve button will enable. So they will approve that and they will submit the review. That's it.
Okay.
Once they submit the review, okay, they need to match. After approving, they need to match. How to match? How to match once they open the PR, here the match pull request option is enabled. Once after approving the PR, this merge pull request option will be enabled. So they will go here and they will click on merge. They will just click on merge. Once they click on merge, again it will ask you want to confirm the merge. Yes. If they click on confirm merge, then only the changes will be merged to the main branch. Try to understand what we are doing. Developers, each and every developer will create their own individual branches. One developer, it is up to the organization. Either developers can create the branches with the feature names. Either developers can create the branches with the tickets that are being assigned in the Jira. It is up to their standards how they are creating branches in the repository. They can proceed with that. Once the developer created a new branch, he will work on that new branch only. He will push his changes only to the new branch that is created by himself. Okay, and everything testing and all everything will goes from this branch only. Everything is fine. Once everything is fine, then only he will raise a PR. You understood now, right? What is the purpose of creating a PR? The purpose of creating a PR is once a developer is done with the changes or with the task that is assigned to him, he needs to match the changes to the main branch. Pavan, he cannot he cannot keep his code changes along. He cannot keep his code changes in the same branch, right? Why?
Yes.
Because nobody worries about this branch. Nobody knows about this particular branch. This is for the sake of a developer, individual developer. Okay. So finally, what he has to do is he needs to create a PR. How to create a PR? He needs to go to the pull requests, new pull request. And once he click on new pull request, here, this is how it opens. He needs to select the branch that is created for himself. This is the branch is created. And he also needs to select to which branch he wants to update his changes. To the main branch only, right? Obviously, to the main branch. And now, anyhow, we have added all the code changes. The changes were merged. That's why it is not showing any differences. There is nothing to compare now. We have already merged, right? We have already merged. That's why it is not showing any of the changes. Okay. We cannot match the pull request now. Why? Because both the branches having the same code. Now, currently, whatever the code that is present in this particular branch and whatever the code present in the mask main also same. Both are same. That's why we cannot raise a pull request. If there are any differences, then only we can raise a pull request. Differences means if there is any additional file here. If there is any additional file here in this branch, then only we can raise a pull request and we can match that file into the main branch. Any questions, please?
Like, can you explain once again? See, I have lost that one.
So this we are creating a pull request and all.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. We are going to the repository. Under repository, earlier we had only one branch, which is called main. Okay. We understood how to create branches and we understood the purpose of creating branches. Who will create the branches usually? Who will create the feature branches?
Develop.
Developers only. Okay. Developers, they will create feature branches. The purpose of creating feature branches is like they need to work on the task assigned to them. Okay. They should not disturb. They cannot commit everything to the main branch. No one will have access to commit their code into the main branch. No one will have access to commit their changes into the main branch. We should not disturb the main branch. Why? Because we are maintaining the final copy of code here. That's the reason why developers will create feature branches. Developer will create feature branches like this, either with the name of the feature they are working. If he is working on credit cards information, he can create feature branch like feature/credit cards. Otherwise, if he wants to create a branch with the task assigned to him in the Jira, So the task number is this one. That's why he created a branch like this. Either strategy he can follow, but it is up to the organization how they are following. However, it is not mandatory that he has to create a branch like this or like this. Getting right?
Yes,
It's
yes.
up to the standards how their organization is following. Few organizations will follow creating branches with the name of the tickets assigned to them. Few organizations follow creating a feature branches. These are the different branching strategies. Okay, we can create branches like this. So once a branch is created, he is going to work on the task that is assigned to him. Consider this is the task assigned to him. He open his branch. But whenever let me create one more new branch. Okay. Consider we have one more developer. Okay. Leave about the developer that who is
Okay.
working. Leave about the developer one. We have developer two. Developer two is also assigned with some task. Okay. Developer two is also assigned with some task. Is assigned with some task in Jira. And the task number is something like PMEP. The task number is different. Something like this. Okay. 67899. This is different task. Okay. This is different task and this is different task. Developer two is assigned with some different tasks. To maintain it, he is asking to work on the accounts information. He is asking to write the code for accounts information. Okay. So this is the task that is assigned to the developer. Okay. He is going to pick up the task and is going to create a new branch. Pawan, how he is going to create a new branch? First, he will click on
New branch.
new branch and he will copy and paste the title over here. So what is the name of the branch that he is giving? The name of the Jira title only. Got it?
Okay.
Name of the Jira title only. Whenever he creates the branch, he should select some source branch. Otherwise, we cannot create a new branch. It is
Yes.
not at all possible to create a new branch without selecting the
Source.
source branch. So now here he is having multiple options. Pawan.
Yes.
Earlier we had only main branch. Now you can see here there is a branch called 18795. There is a branch called feature/credit card. There are multiple options.
Yes.
If he wants to copy the code from this feature branch, yes, he can create a branch. If he wants to create a new branch by using the base branch called this one, that is
Okay.
also possible. But nobody will do like that. Everyone will go for main branch only. Why? Because main branch is the updated branch with all the latest changes.
Okay.
That's the reason why people will always choose the source branch as the updated branch. So here the main branch, we are assuming the main branch as an updated branch. He will create a new branch with that name.
Like it is updated with main branch means the changes which he done, but it will not reflect in that main branch, right? After requesting pull request only, it will update.
Yes. Yes. So the main branch is the updated one. Okay. He's creating a new branch with the same copy of code. Okay. He's creating a new branch with the same copy of code. And this BMAP 67899, this branch is having the same copy of code, which is having the main now. Now what developer is doing, he is going to add some file additionally.
Okay.
He's going to add some file additionally, accounts info.java. They're taking some example, okay? That's it. He is going to write the program here. He is going to add some code here. And he will commit the changes. We need to understand where he is committing the changes. He is committing the changes into his local branch, his feature branch only. Understood?
Yes.
He is going to commit the changes into his feature branch. This is called as feature branch only. It is not based on the name. Okay, developers will create the feature branches based on the tickets or based on the name of the task that is assigned to them. So he will commit the changes into his branch only, PMEP 67899 only. Once he commit the changes, you see one more file is added. He has added one more file which is called as accounts information.java.
Java.
Now he will test it locally. Developer will test it locally, whether his code changes are working fine or not. After that, he will also ask the testing team to test it. Okay, if his code changes are impacting any other code, or how the functionality is working, he will ask the testing team also to check that functionality. Once everything is fine, if the testing team comes with a positive result, yes, your code changes are working fine, then Pawan, what he will do? He wants to he wants to update the changes. He wants to update his changes to the
Main branch.
Finally, all the developers will be updating their changes to the
Main branch.
main branch. This is the final code, final copy here we are maintaining. So now what he will do, he will create a PR now. How to create a PR? Go to the pull requests, click on new pull request. Here we have an option here, right? What is branch we need to select here? You can see the arrow mark here. In which direction it is? This is the branch he is created. 67899 is the branch he is created for his purpose. And is going to update these changes into main branch. Whatever the additional files that is present over here, those additional files will also be merged with the main branch. So he will create a PR. He will create a PR. While creating the PR, he need to provide some title. Okay, title in the sense like he can mention like I am going to add some accounts information to the in this PR. Okay, so he will add the title. He will create if he wants to provide some description, he can provide some description. He can click on create a pull request. Before he create a pull request, he needs to add some reviewer. Where he is adding the reviewer? Here we have right side we have settings button, right?
Yes.
The settings button, he will choose some reviewer name and he will create a PR. That's it. PR is raised. This is how usually PRs will be raised. Once the PR is raised, so we will be adding some reviewer name. That reviewer will be notified with your PR. Okay, that reviewer will get some mail or he will be notified that PR is raised and he will be added as a reviewer. Okay. So he will open that PR. He will go for the files changed. He will just, if he wants to see whatever the code changes done by the developer, he will review the changes. Here he will approve. As I told you, right? He will go to the review changes. If he is fine to approve the changes, he will select the button approve button. Now for now, approve button is not enabled. I told you what is the reason why it is not enabled.
Okay. Yes.
Why? Because
he can't approve his own pull request.
Yeah. Authors cannot approve their own pull request. If I raise pull request, I cannot approve myself. Some others has to approve.
Okay.
That's the reason why it is not enabled. So usually it will enable it. He will select the approve button and he will submit the review. That's it. So just now he approved. Approval is not at all enough. Okay. Once after approval, this merge pull request option will be enabled. Before approval, this will not be enabled.
Yes.
Before approval, this option will not be highlighted. Once after approval, this option will be highlighted. Then he will click on merge pull request. He will confirm the merges. That's it. Now, the developer added code. If a developer adds the new functionality, that new functionality will be updated to the master or main branch. What is the new functionality that is added in this branch? That particular new functionality will be added to the main branch. Got it, right?
Yes.
This is how the pull request will be usually raised, reviewed, merged. This is about PR. People use PR, right? Create a PR, raise a PR like that. PR is nothing but a pull request. Okay. Pawan, if we want to delete the branches, if I don't want to delete, if I don't want the branches, consider I have created a branch accidentally. Okay, unfortunately, I have created some branch, but which I don't require now. If I want to delete, I can delete. How can I delete? All the feature branches can be deleted, but the main branch will be protected. You see, I am the admin of this repository. That's the reason why even the delete option is also highlighted for me. Yes. Okay. This option should not be available for anyone. Okay. We should protect the branches. It is our responsibility to protect the branches. Why? Because, Pawan, we will put some lots of efforts for writing the code and all. Developers will usually put lots of efforts for writing the code and all. So once this branch is deleted, what happens? The entire effort will get wasted. If this branch is deleted, source code is the important asset, right? The precious asset for the project. Yes. If there is no source code, how can we? That's the reason why it is our responsibility to protect the branches. How can we protect the branches? Go to the settings. We can also go for the branches. We need to go to the branches. We can have, okay, we can have branch protection rules. We can add the protection rules here. You can mention what are all the branches that you need to protect. Branch name pattern. Suppose if you want to protect the main branch, you can give the main branch and create. You need to give the password. Okay. Can you see here, Pawan? I have updated the main branch under branch protection rules. I have updated the
Main branch.
main branch. Why it is showing like
Not
it
enforced.
is not applied? It is not applied. I have enforced, but it is not applied. Why it is not applied? Because we are using a licensed version. We are not using the licensed version. You see,
Yes.
rules on your private repos can't be enforced until you upgrade to the
GitHub.
GitHub team or enterprise. I have shown you, right? While creating the organization, we have different editions.
Yes.
GitHub team edition, enterprise edition, like that we have different editions. Okay. So we are just going with the free one.
Free.
So under the free one, we cannot enforce all these rules.
Okay.
If we upgrade your repository to the team level, GitHub team level or enterprise level, we have different versions. Can you see here? You cannot apply the rules until you upgrade to the GitHub team or otherwise enterprise.
Yes.
We need to update.
Upgrade.
We need to upgrade. So then only we need to use this option. Okay, click on upgrade. You see here when I click on upgrade, it is asking us upgrade to team or otherwise upgrade to the enterprise.
Okay.
But this is free. All the basics are free. We can practice. The current plan is $0. We don't need to pay anything per month, per user per month. If we upgrade to the team level, how much they are going to charge? $4 per user. It is not for the entire
Organization.
per user. Suppose if we are adding some 100 users, how much it will cost?
$400.
$400. Okay, not a small amount, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you see here, if we want some additional features, we need to go for enterprise level. Okay. And then see, they are also providing risk-free for 31 days. Try risk-free for 31 days. Why? Because the cost of the enterprise edition is very high, right? You see, this is only $4 per month and this is $21 per user per month. Okay. So before you upgrade, you can also check once by going for a free trial, like risk-free for 30 days, like that. So this is how we will upgrade our repositories. There are other things also to discuss. Pawan, we will continue our discussion tomorrow. You have any questions?
Yes. So previously, before giving protection, that is accessible to delete for everyone in the team.
Yes.
Okay. After giving protection,
Yes. So here we are going to the branches. Now you see here that we have applied the branch protection rule, but it did not apply because
I can see you are the author, right?
yeah,
So that's
it
why
is
it is.
applied actually. It is applied actually. You cannot delete the branch. It is showing. When I am selecting when I'm clicking on delete, it is showing like you can't delete the branch because
Okay.
it is a default branch, right? It is a default branch. That's the reason why we cannot able to delete. Okay. Yeah, that's how. In the same way, like as I shown you, that's how we will apply the branch protection rules. We will go to the settings, we'll go to the branches, and we will add the rules here. Add the rule and mention the branch protection, mention the name here, name pattern. Okay, suppose if you don't want to delete the branches that are starting with the release. Okay, we have some release branches that are starting with the name called release. So if I don't want to delete all the branches, I will give the pattern here and I will create so that all the branches that are starting with release / star, or all the branches that are starting with release name, for that it will be applied. The branch protection rule will be applied. Nobody can delete those branches. Got it?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, then we'll see. Okay, please go through the recorded session. And if you have any questions, we'll be discussing in the next class. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.